Welcome to RelyLocal Frederick Business Radio Spotlight. For the next 30 minutes, you will hear fast-paced interviews, unique perspectives, and valuable insight from real people who believe that empowering local business is everybody's business. This show is about the backbone of America, small businesses right here in and around the communities where we live, work, and play. And now, your host, Caressa Flannery, brings you RelyLocal Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight.
Hello. This is Caressa Flannery, your host for the RelyLocal Business Spotlight. And I'm sure a lot of folks out there are wondering, what the heck is RelyLocal? Well, RelyLocal, a healthy community depends on a healthy economy, and both completely depend on the local businesses in Frederick. Simply put, more money spent with local businesses stays here, about 68%, where much less money spent with national chains stays in the area, only about 14%. And money that's spent online, well, that simply leaves us forever. To us at RelyLocal, supporting local businesses doesn't stop with the economy. It is all about creating a stable and vibrant community. Frederick businesses create jobs, the tax revenue for schools and parks and roads, while offering diversity in the marketplace with unique products and services that you can't find in the big box stores or chain restaurants. And not to mention, these local businesses are owned by the very people who sponsor our Little Leagues, donate to our local charities, and volunteer for our community events. They give back to the community in countless ways. You rely on them, but can they rely on you? And did you know that refocusing just $20 of your current spending toward local businesses instead of online, national, or big box merchants can have a major impact on our community? Now, RelyLocal supports organizations as well in the community, and we have with us here today Bob Rosensteel. He is the main organizer and chair of an evening on the Riviera, and this is a nonprofit organization that puts on this luscious gala in October, the first Friday of October, and it's all for charity. Welcome, Bob.
Well, thank you, Caressa. You certainly have a beautiful smile this morning.
Well, thank you. So, Bob, we're going to talk all about Evening on the Riviera, and this is your baby, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been around for 17 years. It's been exhausting. It's been seen a lot of growth, and it's still growing. So yes, I've been the person who put it together, the founder, the chair, recruiting people, and it's been a daunting task.
Well, how did it get started? I mean, you say 17 years, so like, how did minds come together? And
well, it started because I was at the Y, and I was helping the Y raise funds for its recreational programs, the new swimming pool and stuff. And back then, before the internet, you had to go door to door, knocking on doors and saying, "I represent the Y collecting funds for this." And I did that for about 3 days, and I got more no's than yeses. And a lot of people who didn't like the Y because they thought it was like an elitist club. It was very difficult to generate that type of funds. So I went back to the Y and said, I'm quitting this. I'm not going to do it. But in the process of doing that, came across Nancy. That's Nancy Brower at the time. And she said, I won't give to the Y through a program like this, but let's create what's called a lasting legacy. Let's do our own event. We put our heads together and came up with it.
Very cool. And, okay, so for 17 years, there has been a gala every year?
Every year. And this has been at such people as, like the current year, the Y with the children's programs, Harley House, battered spouses and sexually abused children. We've been with Advocates for Homeless Families, the Mental Health Association. There was a healthcare, I can't remember what healthcare nonprofit that was at one point in time. There's been about 15 community livings, another one comes to mind. Mm-hmm. The Art of Frederick County. Most of the charities that we've supported have children and families as a focus.
Right.
And I think that sponsors love to hear that, see that, and it seems like it opens up their pocketbooks when you're dealing with that group or demographic of people.
Well, that's an important demographic anyway. I mean, children are our future, and their mothers are typically the ones who are the caregivers that are, moving them towards the future. So that's not a bad niche to have in terms of the charitable organizations that you serve. And I was going to ask you that question, who the charities are that you've had that that have benefited from this gala in the past. But let's I guess, move into the present and talk a little bit about what's happening with the current event. Let's tell people when it is and where it is and all that kind of information.
Okay, it's Friday night, October the 3rd. It's always on the first Friday of the month. It's at the Knoll Building or Event Complex at the fairgrounds. I hope people don't get have the reaction to Frederick Fairgrounds and cars and barns and pigs, but it's not.
Yeah, it won't be in that particular area.
They have taken a building and remodeled it with up-to-date restrooms and lighting and sound systems.
It's a beautiful room, and actually, just being involved myself with the event and seeing the room transform last year, I think people are going to be in for a surprise if they haven't been there before, because it's
we made an
lovely.
investment last year in we draped that entire building from floor to ceiling to where it did not look like you were at the fairgrounds.
Right.
And we did that with the idea so the pictures and the advertising that people saw and people want, we'll now be talking about what happened last year, how that event was very transformative and what we've been doing, and so we hope and expect to get more ticket buyers this year.
Yeah. And you mentioned the two beneficiaries that are actually the beneficiaries for this year's event, but go into a little bit more detail. I mean, how do the beneficiaries actually get chosen?
It's just a group of us sitting down talking about what charities serve families and children and seem to be the ones who are in the most need of help at any point in time. We've talked with the United Way, we've talked with the Chamber, we've talked with Community Living, but there's no really other process than that. I mean, we're not going out and asking people to send applications in, and we're going to evaluate them from like a scale 1 to 10, pick out what's worthy. It's been tried and true by focusing on families and children. The sponsors tend to open up their pocketbooks.
Yeah. And again, like we said, that's a good niche to have because it is geared towards the future, and I think a lot of businesses want to support the future or know that they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so the charities that are benefiting this year for this year's event, again, are Hartley House.
And the Y.
And Hartley House, what do they do? Tell us a little bit about that.
They deal with battered spouses and children. What woman who...
So they're dealing with domestic violence.
And then the Y has all these children's programs. Y has taken over Head Start. The Y is the largest daycare provider in Frederick County. And they give these scholarships to kids who don't have the income or resources. So it is a place for children who basically are destitute.
Okay. Yeah, and they were actually beneficiaries last year, and I guess we're moving them into a transition period and providing them as beneficiaries again so they can benefit.
Yes, and there'll be new beneficiaries next year.
Okay, great. All right, well, we're going to go to a break. So from Gettysburg to Brunswick and Hagerstown to Mount Airy, may the source be with you. This is Caressa Flannery. We'll be right back.
Owner Richard Riley has been around motorcycles all his life. And if there is one thing he has learned about the business, it's that the customer is number one. If you know Richard, then you know that there is nothing he loves more than to see people experiencing the thrill of riding their own motorcycle. Here is just one of his many faithful customers, putting it in their own words.
Well, I'll tell you, from start to finish, everyone made me feel, right at home. They were always willing to take their time, busy sometimes, but that didn't matter, to talk to me and answer my questions. I wouldn't go anywhere else. Fredericktown Yamaha is easily my number one choice.
What a perfect time of year to get back on a motorcycle. Feel the feeling of freedom and the warm breeze on your face as your bike hugs those turns and you and your friends take those road trips you've only dreamed about. If you've ever thought about trading in that old bike, or experiencing the thrill of owning your first motorcycle, stop by Fredericktown Yamaha and tell Richard Riley and his team that AM 1450 sent you. That's Fredericktown Yamaha, located on Grove Road in Frederick, Maryland. Fredericktown Yamaha, where the fun begins.
Providing quality professional pet care services since 1999, Happy Paws is the #1 in-home pet care services in the Frederick County region. From house sitting to taking care of your pet while you're away, walking your dog while you're working, or caring for a pet with special needs. Happy Paws is bonded and insured through Pet Sitters International. You can have that special peace of mind knowing that your pets are safe, loved, cared for, and happy by our experienced and professional sitters. From an exhaustive, detailed pet intake interview review up to a personal online detailed report on each visit to your home and your pets. Happy Paws will make you feel like you left your treasured pets with a trusted family member no matter where you are. Happy Paws, your full-service pet sitting company. Call them today at 301-471-7719. That's 301-471-7719. Or check out their website at happypawsfrederick.com. Happy Paws, quality professional in-home care for your pet.
Timeless Trends Boutique, located on East Main Street in Thurmont. In the historical Krager's Furniture Store, built in the mid-1800s, is a wonderful collage of furniture, home decor, local artwork, pottery, and jewelry in a warm, friendly atmosphere. For that special, unique gift or just the right piece to complement your decor, relax and browse through our boutique, dreaming the time away. Visit our vintage warehouse as well, formerly a carriage house just behind the boutique. It is transformed into a showcase of funky, eclectic vintage items for your home or garden. The warehouse is open the second weekend of each month and has become a don't-miss destination for shoppers looking for those one-of-a-kind, classical, repurposed, and upscaled items. That's Timeless Trends Boutique, where customers become friends.
We're all busy with plenty of commitments. That's why Anytime Fitness is the perfect way to stay in shape. Anytime Fitness at Thurmont is always close by, and they're open 24/7. They can tailor a personalized training program to fit your workout needs. Visit us at 130 Frederick Road to start your program today. Stay healthy anytime with Anytime Fitness.
All right, we are back. This is Caressa Flannery once again with the RelyLocal Business Spotlight. And today we are spotlighting an organization called An Evening on the Riviera. And An Evening on the Riviera supports local organizations themselves within the community, nonprofits. And they do that by holding and hosting a charity gala with wine, food, entertainment, and all kinds of stuff. And we're here with Bob Rosensteel. So Bob, my next question having to do with this year's event, which is going to be, as you pointed out, Friday, October 3rd. What would one expect if they purchase a ticket to this year's gala? What sorts of things would they expect to see, to hear, to taste, to all that good stuff?
The idea behind this event, we could call it a prom for seniors. For adults.
For seniors.
And
I like that.
When we put this together, the idea was that when you entered that facility, that there's going to be something competing for your time, attention, and senses of taste, smell, hearing, and touch. No matter where you look, there's something going on, from food to the auction to the band, the music agenda, to the wine that you'll taste. Seeing people all dolled up in their best, Sunday best, from tuxedos to gowns. It's very formal. Mm-hmm. And that's what one's going to expect.
Yeah, the gala brings out, it's almost like it's the event of the year, and a lot of people, especially the women, are searching for that perfect gown and, just want to look their best.
They do, and it's funny, you talk about the perfect gown. It's at this event that I learned that women dress for one another, not for us men.
I know.
My wife bought a dress that was over $300 in Santa Fe, and when she wore it when the event was a hood, noticed when she was walking by, that every woman walking by her would stop and look. And she felt like the queen of the ball at that point.
I know, we all do. It's I can speak from experience that it's just so fun, really, to go out and look for that special dress and, a dress that makes you feel really incredible, for a night out. And the best part about it is you're going to an event. Hopefully you're going to see lots of different friends or people in the community, and it's all to support charity. That's the best part about it, I think.
Well, yeah, and let's not forget the men. I love to see the guys in the tuxedos with the
I do too.
With the long tails and the top hats and the limos pulling up. It's it's a nice evening.
And so let's talk a little bit about the music. I know this year's event's going to have the same music that was there last year, and I think we've had this music in past years at this particular event. Why don't you talk a little bit about the music?
Okay. We've had all kinds of musicians at this event, sometimes as many as 3 and 4 groups at a time, and when the event was at Linville, we could do that. At this facility, we can only have 2. We brought back Howard Burns and his 24-piece orchestra because it is very elegant. They do play big band music. They themselves are in their tuxedos. And then they'll play until around 11 o'clock, and then it breaks down to a 16-piece Motown band. Before that, Cloud 9, which is a contemporary rock, playing stuff like the Doobie Brothers and that era of music. They're all local musicians and people who have played with a lot of the bigger bands like the Four Seasons and stuff. Is the other band. And then out front, as people are coming in, when we give them a glass of wine while they're standing in line to get their tray and to get their ticket punch for the auction, we serve them a glass of Chardonnay, but we also have a violinist or a harpist out there playing music.
Okay. Is there any special guests or anything like that? I mean, what do you have up your sleeve? You have something fun planned that's
like
gonna be
last year, we waited
exciting?
to the last moment to announce. I mean, every year we always pick two people who to act as honorary chairs and two people who have made such a significant contribution and a difference in our community. So last year was the Risers, Charles and Sharon, for what they do and the amount of money and time that they give to charity. We've had Debbie Williams because of the Patty Pilates Fund. We hope to have some surprises again this year.
Okay. And also maybe some surprise entertainment, perhaps?
Perhaps. And then last year, remember...
We can't let the cat out of the bag, though, right?
We had Chief Dine there because of what he did for Frederick.
I know. That was incredible. And he got an award.
Award.
So there are some little awards that are given out to some of the special guests that are there. And so that's great. So it's a jam-packed evening of fun, and there's just so much for people to do there. So it's really an incredible night. So I would assume that with an event like this, that you have some great businesses that are helping to sponsor it and to help put it on. So who are some of the folks, if you want to throw out some names or whatever, how does this event get put on? What are some of the businesses that help in the community?
The event has to take place. It can't take place unless we have sponsors. And sponsors contribute anywhere from $250 up to $6,000. This year's sponsors, Susquehanna Bank or Frederick County Bank or Wegmans, are just examples of some of the sponsors. And we're still looking for sponsors. And now that we're talking about sponsors, back when the event was in its heyday, right after 9/11, when the economy was going strong, we raised over $60,000 in sponsors. But we're like $10,000 we got from WorldCom. Well, they're no longer in existence. 5,000 came from Enron, no longer in existence.
Right.
A lot of the local car dealerships and banks were giving us 2, 3, and 4, and 5,000. But the economy went south. In the meantime, besides the economy going south, we've gone from 300 nonprofits up to 700 in Frederick County, and 6 other events, something like this. So it's hard to get a dollar.
Yeah.
And so there's a continuing emphasis and asking for people to step up and be a sponsor in one form or another.
It is really important. I mean, just for, I would imagine any nonprofits or nonprofit organization and their events and whatnot. But this one in particular, there are a lot of really great opportunities for business to get involved. And, they range anywhere from like $1,000 to, $6,000. And it looks like they come with tickets and all kinds of extra great perks and benefits. So we'll talk a little bit more about this, but we're going to head back into a break again. And I just want to share with everybody that you can like us on Facebook at RelyLocal Frederick, Maryland. We'll be right back.
If you're like me, one of the last things on my list is taking the time to get a haircut so I can look my best. Gary the Barber makes it easy. By appointment only, call 301-305-7895.
Imagine coming home from a hard day's work, slipping into your own personal spa and enjoying it as you soak away the day's stress. It just drifts away. Create your own personal family fun zone. Relax with friends or just alone under the stars. Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub can get you started today. Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub, locally owned and operated since 1995. Johnny and Chris know hot tubs. Visit the Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub showroom located in Thurmont on Graceham Road and see their variety of quality spas and accessories that can be custom installed at your convenience. For all you spa owners, Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub offers the best spa maintenance and repair in the region. If you need supplies for your hot tub, let Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub deliver them to you at no charge. Just mention that you heard about Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub right here on AM 1450, and Johnny will come out to your home for a free evaluation and help you set up a regular professional maintenance plan. Catoctin Mountain Spa and Tub, the one place where getting into hot water is cool.
Hi, this is Dwayne Browning, owner of Done Right Plumbing and Heating. Have you ever experienced done wrong plumbing? Well, that's because you need to call Dunray Plumbing and Heating. Dunray Plumbing and Heating is locally owned and operated by an experienced team of licensed technicians who will treat you like family, not just another appointment. Dunray Plumbing and Heating is located in Frederick, Maryland, and is an authorized Lennox dealer representative. Receive up to $2,500 in rebates and tax credits on the purchase of a qualifying Lennox home comfort system. Give me a call today at 301-696-8852. That's 301-696-8852. Dunray Plumbing and Heating, when you're tired of done wrong.
Fix that leak. Water-saving technique.
Mountain Gate Restaurant has been a Thurmont tradition for over 25 years. Christian-owned and operated, Mountain Gate Restaurant has one of the finest home-style buffets in the area, with mouth-watering delicacies, desserts, and much more. Mountain Gate Restaurant is not just a place to eat, it is an experience. Down-home country cooking in a friendly, relaxed atmosphere. Just off Route 15 in Thurmont, look for the big sign that says Mountain Gate Family Restaurant. And don't forget to ask for the Gospel Sing schedule. Come on down to Thurmont today and treat yourself to a meal you'd swear your mama cooked. That's Mountain Gate Restaurant, a Thurmont dining tradition. Mountain Gate has great food, good music, and fun for the whole family.
Hello again, this is Caressa back with Bob Rosensteel from An Evening on the Riviera. And Bob, we were just talking about sponsorship and, the fact that Evening on the Riviera does take a great deal of funds to put on such an amazing event. And the local businesses in the area certainly contribute to that, but we always could use additional funds. And some of the sponsorship packages are very affordable for a local business to be able to participate. Did you want to elaborate on any of that, or did you want to say anything else regarding, reaching out to businesses?
If they will go to the webpage on www.eveningontheriviera.com. There is a part on the webpage where you can go for sponsorship opportunities, explaining to you what you get for the different amounts that you give.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's great. And, also just in general for people who want to attend the event, I know we're going to talk, wrap it up and we'll, talk about that. But just in general, we want to let them know that they can go to the website and they can purchase tickets now, too. They don't have to wait.
You can buy tickets online right now, right on the website. And then within about another 15 to 20 days, there'll be 2 outlets for buying tickets, Franklin Liquors and the Old Spirits Shop to start with. But we're finding more and more people are buying tickets online.
Yes. Well, I think a lot of people are using credit card transactions and things like that. So that's good that we have those options available for them to be able to take advantage of. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the sponsorship and how, everything gets put together. But as far as some of the things that people will see when they enter the event and mingle around and whatnot, some of the big highlights are the restaurants and the caterers that are there. Do you want to touch on any of them or some of the things that they might encounter or see?
Sure. Yeah, this event wouldn't be the same event without the restaurants, and caterers. I mean, they definitely make the event because they spend a lot of time in the decor, presentation, showcasing their facility. Each restaurant caterer that comes makes hors d'oeuvres to serve about 400 people. Mm-hmm. They're getting a taste for the eating because we bring in judges from the culinary institutes around who who evaluate food on quality and also on presentations. So it's amazing what some of these restaurants do for this event. And when you look at the decor, which means we don't have to spend as much time also decorating the place because the restaurants are taking care of that.
Yeah, some of them have elaborate booths and all
flower displays and
amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned the culinary awards that are done, the contest that is done there. So what are some of those awards that they give out?
Well, there's 3 awards for presentation. Well, 1 award for presentation, a first, second, and third. 1 for taste, and it gets into different aspects of quality of I'm not a judge, so I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
But there's
they get the culinary people to judge those.
There's
things.
like 7 awards that are given out, and then the awardees get recognized in Frederick Magazine.
Right. Well, the point is, you don't go hungry there.
You
There's
don't.
plenty of
food.
food to go around for everybody. And I mean, just so many different kinds of wonderful food that you could try. It's
and
really great.
Since it starts at 7, most of the food's probably going by 8:30, 8:45. But with
So people need to get there before then.
ample supplies of wine and beer and soft drinks, we get concerned also about drinking and driving. So at 10 o'clock, we're going to have Four Nose Pizza come in with about 30 pizzas.
So they get pizza as their snack app.
And the band plays to midnight. So it's
Yeah.
if you don't get your fill with the restaurants, you'll certainly get your fill when you start sucking down those pizzas.
Right. Now, as far as the contributions that go to the beneficiaries, they come from a lot of different sources. Sponsorships, which we've already talked about, and we've talked a little bit about ticket sales. But the big highlight of the evening, as far as the funds that are raised, is the auction. So do you want to speak a little bit about the auction and what people can expect from that and how it runs and that sort of thing?
Yeah, we've had the auction now for 17 years, and the charities themselves get involved in helping to run the auction, set the auction up. Talk to anything from bicycles to cars,
furniture,
memorabilia.
I saw some paintings and things,
food,
photography,
golf outings, wine trips. It goes on and on and on.
Beach trips. There's all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of things, and there's just about 100 to 120 different things somebody could bid on.
Right. So they bid on them, and actually a lot of these different things are donated by local residents, local businesses.
I would say 95% of them are donated. A couple of the bigger ones, when you get into like some cars and stuff, they get into what's called a minimum bid. Like for a used car, $2,500. And if it doesn't go for $2,500, it goes back to the dealership. And yeah, it's just an example. Or some artwork, minimum bid on some of the art could be $100, and if it doesn't take $100, we send it right back to the artist.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's so many different things that people could be involved with in just coming to that event. I mean, in general, bidding on any of those auction items. There's so many great things that I saw at the table last year, so that's pretty exciting, and it's just so much fun to mingle at that event and catch up with people that you haven't seen in a little while, just people in the community. It's a time to have fun, relax, and it all goes back to charity. So let's talk again. How do people get tickets for this event? How much does it cost? And all the details related to that.
The event is Friday, October 3rd. It's at the event complex or Knoll Building in the Frederick Fairgrounds. Tickets are $100. We're going to run a special here for the month of July. If you buy the ticket, it'll be $90. You can go online to eveningontheriviera.com, and you can buy the ticket through Maryland Tix, which actually helps us sell the tickets. Or you can go to the Old Spirit Shop or to Franklin Liquors to buy tickets.
Okay. And also, I understand tickets can be purchased by calling the number 240-397-9643. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
If they wanted to do it over the phone, in case they didn't want to do
Right.
a transaction through online. Okay, great. And as far as contact information, that telephone number, any way they can contact through the website itself, and then of course through the Facebook page if people want to interact through there. Any of those different ways are ways for people to get information about Evening on the Riviera.
That is correct.
And if a local business wants to sponsor, or if they would like to donate an item for the auction, or even just buy tickets, they can get all that through all those channels as well,
The
correct?
Facebook and Evening on the Riviera webpage.
Awesome. Great. Well, Bob, it was wonderful to have you in the studio today. We are done. How about that?
How about that? And I would like to say one final thing. 79% of the donated items last year came from businesses that were members of the Chamber of Commerce.
They're members of the chamber?
79% of the people who donated, of the businesses that donated products for the auction were members of the Chamber of Commerce. So it is a local event.
Yes.
Local people helping people.
Definitely local. It's local organizations that are being helped, and local businesses and local people in the community that
Right.
are helping to put this event on. Because I'm on the committee and I don't get paid. But it is a lot of fun, and I encourage everyone out there to take a look at An Evening on the Riviera. All right, and that's a wrap. And this is Caressa Flannery. Thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Rely Local Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight right here on AM 1450 The Source. Heard Saturdays at 1:30 p.m., Rely Local Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight is a movement, a campaign to take us back to what makes America great. Businesses locally owned and operated by you and your neighbors. Thanks for spending your valuable time today with us.